Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're diving into something really fascinating, the emergence of decentralized strip clubs. It's this collision of adult entertainment and Web3 tech.
Yeah, it's definitely a space that's evolving quickly.
So our goal here is really just to cut through some of the noise, understand the shifts, the benefits, and maybe some of the potential drawbacks too.
Exactly. We want to unpack what's significant about this convergence based on the materials we've seen.
Okay, so let's start with the old way. The traditional adult entertainment scene, it's had some, pretty serious challenges for a while, right?
Oh, absolutely. Performers often face issues with clubs taking really large cuts of their earnings. That's a big one.
Right. And payments, too. I hear that's a constant headache.
Yeah, payment processing issues, restrictions, banks, sometimes just being outright hostile to the industry.
So performers end up relying heavily on platforms, maybe managers, less control overall.
Precisely. That reliance creates friction. It limits their autonomy, their control over income, even their direct connection with fans.
Okay, but this is where Web3 potentially steps in to kind of reset things.
That's the idea. These decentralized club models aim to shift that power dynamic, put it more in the hands of the performers themselves.
How does that work in practice, though?
Well, it uses blockchain technology. Essentially, it cuts out many of the traditional middlemen.
So performers can set their own rates, stream on their own terms.
Exactly. And receive tips often instantly in crypto. It goes directly from the fan to the performer.
Wallet to wallet, bypassing the old gatekeepers.
Precisely. The blockchain acts like this shared, transparent ledger, not controlled by one company, making those payments more direct, more visible.
Gotcha. And it's not just individual payments, is it? We're hearing about DAOs now.
Right. Decentralized autonomous organizations, DAOs created by and for adult workers.
Okay, what do these DAOs actually do?
Think of them as worker-owned cooperatives, basically, but running on blockchain rules. They use voting systems.
For what? Like deciding stuff?
Yeah, deciding how shared funds get used, maybe crowdfunding for legal protection, even voting on promotions or platform rules. It flips that traditional top-down club management structure.
So it's more democratic, potentially.
That's the potential, yes. More equitable decision-making power for the workers themselves.
Okay, interesting. And the audience, are they still just watching? Or does their role change too?
It definitely changes. They're not just passive viewers anymore.
How so?
Well, through things like access tokens or other crypto assets, the audience can become more like stakeholders.
Stakeholders, meaning?
They might get voting rights on certain club events, or maybe they stake their tokens to unlock premium content. It kind of blurs the line between just being a fan and being an active participant.
Right. And NFTs must fit in here somewhere too. Seems like a natural fit.
Absolutely. Non-fungible tokens are perfect for creating unique, limited edition digital items.
Like what sort of things?
Exclusive videos, maybe personalized digital art, digital collectibles that could also double as access passes, even like a unique digitally signed photo. Lots of possibilities for fan engagement.
And you mentioned earlier, the sources we looked at show this isn't just theory. People are actually doing this.
Yeah, definitely not just theoretical. We're seeing examples of creators earning, substantial income in crypto completely outside the traditional club or platform system.
That feels like a pretty big deal. Underscores the viability, maybe.
It really does. It shows creators leveraging that direct access, the global reach of crypto, without the old constraints.
There's this phrase being used, digitized liberation. Kind of captures that idea of more control, more transparency.
I think it does. That's the core promise, right? Greater control over your money, transparent transactions on the blockchain, and ultimately just more autonomy for performers, managing their careers on their own terms.
But it can't all be perfect. There have to be downsides, risks. The sources mention challenges.
Oh, for sure. We definitely need to acknowledge the hurdles. It's still very early days.
Like what specifically?
Well, the regulatory landscape is fuzzy. Still very much a work in progress, sort of a Wild West feel in some ways.
Right. Which probably means scams are a risk.
Scams are a real concern, absolutely. And there are genuine privacy risks, too, with any new technology like this, especially when personal content is involved. Needs careful thought.
Okay, so risks are there. Regulation is lagging, scams, privacy.
Yes, real issues to navigate.
But this sort of fundamental takeaway, despite those risks, it seems to be that crypto offers this new framework, one built on control, transparency, autonomy.
Exactly.
For an industry that historically hasn't had much of those things.
That's it precisely.
Yeah.
Bringing those principles to a sector often operating in the shadows, so to speak.
So it definitely gives you something to think about. As you go about your day, maybe consider those wider implications.
Yeah.
Blockchain disrupting established industries, empowering individuals, sometimes in really unexpected ways. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us.